Hi guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing a review of New Boy by Tracey Chevalier. I picked up a copy of this when I went to the Globe Theatre in around June time, I want to say. This was published, I believe, this year. 2017, so it is a very new release. This is part of the Hogarth Shakespeare series, which is a series where authors retell Shakespeare plays. So Chevalier has retold Othello in this book. It's quite a short book, but I was intrigued by it because I've recently studied Othello with some Year 12 students, so I'm very familiar with the story, and I really like the story as well. And it also intrigued me because it said it was set in 1970s Washington in a school. So I was kind of interested to see how she would deal with the story of Othello with that kind of setting. And I kind of heard of people haul this book and say that they were a little bit sort of apprehensive about it being set in a school because of some of the themes in Othello, which I totally understood. This was a really easy book to read. It's not that long, it's 190 pages, something like that. So I read this in one day. This was one of my Booktubeathon books that met the challenge to read a book in one day. And I sort of read it in 4 different chunks during the day. And like I said, it was really easy to read. I was really gripped by the story. This tells a story, or if you're not familiar with Othello, this is how she takes the story and retells it, of a boy called Asai, I think that's how you pronounce his name, it does tell you in there and I think that's how you pronounce it, who has moved to a new elementary school in Washington. His father is a diplomat, so they've done a lot of moving around, and originally his family lived in Ghana. But like I said, they've done a lot of moving around. I think he's just moved from New York to Washington. So he's new at this school in Washington, and these children are just about to move on to what I believe is middle school in the US. So they've got about a month to go of grade 6, I think it is, and this new boy arrives. So it's about how he starts to fit in to the class that he's in and the students that are in grade 6. And it was really nice kind of discovering along the way all the little things that Chevalier had done to kind of make reference to Othello. So the names in here, like Asai for Othello and D for Desdemona, that was really, they were really nice little touches. And then sort of little clues along the way, like, again, if you're familiar with the story of Othello, there's this thing with a handkerchief, and I think the handkerchief has strawberries on it. I think it does anyway. And then this is done in a slightly different way in here, but when she does it, you're like, ah, yeah, I see what you did there. As I was getting towards the end of this, I was sort of thinking, oh, how is she going to wrap it up? Because again, if you're familiar with the story of Othello, it ends very tragically, and I sort of was like, how can you do that with children? And it sort of does have a dark ending, but it doesn't at the same time, and I won't say any more than that because that would be a spoiler, but I like the way that it was wrapped up. I think about it from a child's point of view. The one character I was questioning the most was Iago's character, who's called Ian in here, and sort of his manipulative, sly self. And I was sort of thinking to myself, at the age of, I think it's 11 or 12, could a child be that manipulative and that sly and that sneaky and have that kind of real sort of evil intent? And I think I'm questioning that because I grew up very much in a world where children weren't like that. But then I suppose I've led a very sheltered existence at times. So yeah, my experience is telling me that children can't be like that, but then yeah, of course they can be, and I do think he wasn't overly manipulative, and the times that we were reading from his point of view, it didn't feel like he was an adult, because I was kind of questioning that whole kind of concept at the time. I thought this was really well done. I thought it would be a great one for people who are studying Othello to pick up either before they've read and studied the actual play Othello or afterwards, just to give them a bit more sort of context, but also a bit more of an insight into the themes of the story. Yeah, I really ended up enjoying this and I gave it 4 stars. So there you go guys, that was my review of New Boy by Tracey Chevalier. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Have you read this? Do you plan on reading it? What do you think? Thanks very much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.